us understand today what is a store procedure. In short, we call SP, or just we say SQL procedure also. And this is a part of PLSQL in Oracle. We call this is the PLSQL, like we are having procedure, trigger, functions, okay, view. All these are the part of PLSQL in Oracle. Here we'll see what is the procedure, how we can create it, and what is the benefit, advantage, disadvantage, all we'll see. So store procedure are an important addition to MySQL 5. So current is a 6th version. There are custom programming scripts with embedded SQL statements that are stored in a compiled form and executed directly by the MySQL server, generally with no external programming interface requirements. SPS allows the store logic rules on the database. So let us say you are having some logic, you are having some functionality, and that you want to combine together. Let us say there are 100 lines I want to write together, and I can make a one procedure. Like in C, C++ or Java, what you do, you make methods, right? In methods, what you do, you write multiple statements together, and you just treat it as a single unit, right? So same thing is here we are having, it is a procedure. We can create here also function. So function has a return type, but store procedure is not having any return. So that's the basic difference between procedure and function in the MySQL term. Apart from this, let us understand this SQL procedure here. So the syntax is what: create procedure, procedure name, okay, and then you can write some bracket. In the bracket you can write some argument, I mean parameter list, and then write as. After that you write your code. So whatever the name you have given, procedure name, later if you want to execute, just say call procedure name. Let us say you are given p1 here, so what you will do here, call p1. You can write call p1. So this p1 procedure will call. So it depends what p1 will do. The code which you have written in this block, that will get executed. Specifying a parameter as in out or in out. So in this we are having three kind of parameters, okay, in, out or in out. If you're having in type parameter, it means you can just read. If you're having out, means you can just write. If you're having in out, means you can read write both. So it depends on the type of parameter, what kind of parameter have passed to the uh, argument list there, and is valid only for procedure. For a function, parameter are always regarded as in. So if we talk about procedure, we are having this three type, but if we talk about function, there's only in type. That's another difference. The parameter list enclosed within parentheses must always be present. If there are no parameters, an empty parameter list of bracket, I mean open and close parentheses, should be used. If there's no argument, even you have to write open and close parentheses, okay. So parameter names are not case sensitive. Each parameter is an in parameter by default. If you're not writing this type, by default it is a in type. To specify other, I can say yeah, it's a, as I said now, it's a in parameters by default in the procedure. So we'll see more details here. Now each parameter is an in parameter by default. To specify otherwise for a parameter, use the keyword out or in out before the parameter name, okay. Specifying a parameter as in out or in out is valid only for a procedure. For a function it is an in type, it is just okay. And then an in parameter passes a value into procedure. The procedure might modify the value, but the modification is not visible to the caller when the procedure returns, right? So in will just read. An in out parameter, or I can say just out parameter, passes a value for the procedure back to the caller. So it will return the value to the odd variable. Its initial value is null within the procedure, and its value is visible to the caller when the procedure returns. Okay, so caller can get the value with the help of this odd parameter, because this procedure is returning the value to odd parameter. An inert parameter is initialized by the caller, can be modified by the procedure, and any changes made by the procedure is visible to the caller when the procedure returns. So it will help you to do both, right? And next step is what? For each odd or inert parameter, pass a user defined variable in the call statement that invokes the process so that you can obtain its value when the procedure returns. If you are calling the procedure from within another stored procedure or function, you can also pass a routine parameter or local routine variable as an in or inert parameter. So if you're having this kind of argument, you have to pass a variable rather than passing just a value. Okay, we'll tell you how to create a variable here in MySQL. So you can say call store procedure name. Just this is the way to call the procedure. And in SQL Server, we are having a command. Say here we are writing what? Call P1, right? We are having also like execute P1. So there is a two way. Okay. Next, look at this usage here. SPS can be used for returning data, for editing data, for calculations. So lot of work we can do with the procedure. Advantage. What is the purpose of creating a procedure? Or what is the benefit of that? Why we should use it? So first is faster execution, reduce need for data transfer back and forth between a program and the database server. Reduce code redundancy. Generally, there are similar code segments in each application for managing data, such as template, insert, and update, and can be moved into database side. Okay. Maintenance. If there are changes in the underlying database schema, code changes can be localized to few SPs, right? Better database security. In a security sensitive applications such as banking, direct access to tables by user programs is a problem, and with SPs, data access can be monitored and logged if necessary. Also, one can impose centralized security rules in the database procedure. I tell you one here that what exactly procedure is. Let us say this is a server I have. I have one server. Say it is a MySQL server. Okay, server MySQL. Okay. Now there's a number of client we are having. Okay, they all firing one query here. Okay, they all firing a query to the server. Okay, this guy is firing query, this guy is firing query, right? So let us say there's one single query, all they are firing now. Okay, so the query is what? Suppose I'm just doing a small very, let us say I have a select star from what? Imply. This is a query I have which is fired by this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, same. Now what will happen? Similarly, let us say if 1 lakh, okay, persons or 1 lakh clients are sending this query to the server, what server does? So first, compile. So when the code is going, it is compiling first and then generating plan. Okay. Now there is a, I just a optimized plan. Okay, suppose it is a optimized plan. And then so if the query is coming first compiling, second they are generating a plan for that. Let us say they have generated 10 plan. Among all the 10 plan, I just given one example here. So among all this plan, they find the best plan, they find the optimized plan, and by using that plan the queries get executed. So this whole process is carried with each and every statement, right? So if this is a simple query, this will happen. Now consider I'm not firing this query. Instead of doing this, these guys are doing what? Say call P1. They are also saying call P1. What is P1? Let us say on the server I create one procedure. I just write here create a procedure P1. Okay, and then I say here as select star from EMP. Same thing is happening here, but this whole statement I put in a one procedure. That procedure name is P1. This procedure is getting first time compiling, first time compiling only, first time. Okay, first time. Now if these guys are calling this procedure call P1, then what the server is doing? It is not compiling, it is not generating best plan, right? This guy is just executing the code and returning the results to the client. So this server is saving the whole time of compilations, generating best plan and all. So server is saving all this time, right? Because server is not doing anything, just executing. What it mean? We are enhancing performance of the server. If we are creating a procedure, so this guy will help to boost up or enhance the performance of the server. Okay, now so I hope you understood this advantage, better database security we are having. So next, what is the disadvantage here? Look it now. Lack of portability. SPs are hardly portable from one database system to another, requiring significant coding and testing effort. That is the one problem. DB server load. Intensive use of SPs burden the MySQL server program, which could be a negative if you are keeping or creating a lot of procedures. All procedure will be on the server cache. So there is a one procedure cache on the server. So whenever one process get created, it is stored in the procedure cache, and when the request come, it just start executing from that cache memory. Limited programming. Stored procedure programming is generally not as rich as conventional development platforms such as Java or PHP. This may also lead to suboptimal code hurting performance somewhat. So these are the very kind of disadvantages we are having if we are getting a stored procedures. But there's a major benefit we are having. Look at this code now. I just tried one to create a procedure here. Consider I have a one table here. Select star from a student, you can see here, and this table is having two records, two column. Now what we are doing, we are creating procedures. So create procedure P1. Here we are taking auth k in begin. Select count star from, or select count star into k from student end. So we are now calling here @h because it is odd type, right? So as I said, you have to pass the variable. If your type is in or sorry not or odd, you have to pass a variable here. So I'm just saying call P1 @h, and then I say select @. So I'm getting here 2 because this query is doing what? Select cont star into k. So it is storing the value into this guy k from the student. So it is having two records. Counting is 2. So 2 will store to k, and when I am printing h, I am getting the 2. Another example you can see here. So I'm just changing the delimiters and then saying create processor P2 here, and begin select star from students. So this is one processor which I have created now, and what we are doing here, call P2. I'm just calling the processor. So whole data is getting displayed because my processor doing what? It is also selecting the record, right? So I'm not firing this query directly. I'm just calling through the processor, and this processor is doing this much stuff. Okay. Another example you can see with in. So we have seen just look it back here now. So we have seen in parameter, or what was that? It was odd parameter, right? And this is a without parameter, and this is the with in parameter. So here we are saying create processor P3 in some variable, I mean rn int integer type, begin select star from a student where roll number equal to n. So end, and then it is saying I say call P3. I'm calling P3, and here what I'm passing? 1 here, right? We are passing 1 because it is looking for one integer argument. So whenever I will call, I need to pass it here, and then we are just running here. So we are getting the first record, right? If I pass 3, okay, I'm getting the second record. That is the roll number 3, correct? Another example with enot. So in this case, what I'm trying to do, create processor name enot, okay, and then begin select password into un from admin where username equal to un. So what we are doing, we are selecting password into un variable, right, parameter from admin where username equal to un, and passing the un there itself, right? So let us say I have a username and password table, and now I'm trying to pass here what, set at the rate p. So this is a way to declare a variable. So that p is currently containing what, tom. Now I say call find password. So I'm passing the tom here because p is having tom. So I'm passing tom, and that tom is giving the password is cat, right? So tom is having password cat, right? So you have seen all these three examples of creating procedure here, right?